The story of Westminster Hall is about the development of the rule of law from absolute monarchy through to sort of the democracy which we have today. And the key sort of historical events all happened in the hall. That's what the significance of the hall is. The brief was very much was about presentation. Because the roof is so high up, because the walls are so tall, the condition of a lot of this fabric wasn't really understood when we started. So the idea was that we would clean it all. And it was only actually once we started doing our surveys and investigations that we discovered, oh look, we have 350 loose pieces of timber in the roof that we've now got to carefully remove because they're a safety hazard, catalogue them all, mark them all on drawings, put them all in bags, and keep them all in sort of environmentally controlled conditions in order to reinstate them.
The biggest challenge that they had was that they wanted to create it as like the main visitor's entrance. And going in, it had to be this kind of spectacular space. It obviously always was, but it was dirty and you couldn't see any of the beautiful detail of the roof. It was caked in dust that was so thick, and I mean, it was 100 years worth of dust. The first surveys that were done were from an abseil, hanging 40 metres up in the air over ropes round this lead lantern to try and work out what the issues were.
Phase 1 of the project was the trials and investigations. Phase 2 was the limited work that we did specifically to the north wall and one bay of the east wall in order to establish the working methods. And phase 3 was the main repairs project. So that encompassed the cleaning of all the stonework of the remaining 3 walls and the cleaning and repair of the roof and the repairs to the lantern.
I have here a piece of tracery from Westminster Hall. This is from the hammer beam roof, and it's from one of the upper sections. And you can see how it was connected. It would have been dowelled in place, and there is a dowel here. If I just remove that, you can see that's the original construction technique. So they would have been dowelled in and then sometimes glued, or sometimes the dowel would have been so large that it wouldn't have actually needed to be glued. But they were connected like this, and that's how the whole construction of the building went together.
The main issue had been a lot of 20th century and earlier repairs had all become loose. And there were, I think, 2 areas where we actually did structural repairs, carpentry repairs to the roof. Most of it was putting pieces of timber back which had become loose. And a lot of those were decorative elements, tracery or bits of beading, bits of moulded timber, and that had to proceed bay by bay, working along the hall with this scaffolding that hung from the roof, whilst the use of the hall continued at ground level. During the process of investigations and repairs, we trialled a number of techniques for cleaning the stone, and we looked very carefully at how we might try and consolidate, particularly the carved enrichments which were in Reigate stone. It's a very hard stone, but it's very prone to decay, and that was quite a challenge. What do we do about those?
So this is a piece of Reigate stone. This is from the original construction of the hall. It's medieval, and it's from, I think, the north wall of the palace.
The Palace of Westminster is just a beguiling building. The more time you spend there working on it, the more amazing things you discover. I mean, it's huge, yes, but it's also, in its details, intricate and clever and thought through and very well designed and extremely well built. And so, there are all sorts of revelations to do with things which actually you don't appreciate at ground level. It's an amazing building in that respect.
When people go in, they'll just experience that incredible roof space. Hopefully not really see the repairs that we've done, because they're all so well hidden and concealed within.